Greetings, class. It is Jeff Prendergast here again with my week 4 screencast observation. My observation dates were January 21st through the 25th, a little different because again I had to be in Seattle. My weather was a little bit warmer than everybody else's, and it had a good bit of precipitation, had a lot of snow on Thursday and Friday. So my observations will look a little bit different than everyone else's. So as you can see on our first day, the 21st, we are just slightly below zero, and it looks like all my measurements overall line up pretty well with the National Weather Service. The next day we had a spike in temperature, which was associated with some precipitation. On the second day we had a positive temperature of 12, which was warmer than the previous day of a -5. That's associated with a low pressure system, which had brought in some precipitation on the second day. We had some light snow on the 22nd, which was associated with our warmer temperature. And on the 23rd, we also had medium intensity snow, really small granules of snow, but it was coming down at a pretty good intensity, about medium intensity overall. The temperature dropped on the 23rd. We still had that snow, which was an indicator of the temperature dropping that we were going into a higher pressure system. On the 21st, we had sky clear, and the wind was calm, a 0 on the Beaufort scale. Then as we went into the snow, we had an overcast sky, couldn't see any blue at all, it's complete obscuration. That was with our light snow. It was falling straight down, so on the 22nd I gave it a 0 on the Beaufort scale. The snow was coming straight down. But as the snow picked up on the 23rd, we had a 1 on the Beaufort scale coming from a heading on 270. You could see that the snow was not coming straight down, but it was affected slightly by the wind, so I gave it a 1 on the Beaufort scale on the 23rd. As we moved into the 24th, we could see that it got clear. The sky became clear and it became very cold. The precipitation stopped. We had a low of 24 on Thursday, so definitely that low pressure system moved away and gave up to clear skies. We still had a 0 on the 24th on the Beaufort scale. The sky on the 24th was clear overall. And on the last day of observations, the 25th, we had very thin, high clouds, alto cirrus, I believe, obscuration of about a quarter of the sky or less. And we could see a full solar disk observable in the sky with no obscuration around the sun. And again, it was very cold on with a low of -24 also on the 25th. So overall, I was pretty happy with my temperature graph. It looked like it mirrored the National Weather Forecast Service pretty well. I was even more happy with my pressure graph. It looks like it followed the trend of over the week from the 21st to the 25th going upward. Looks like we were slightly below it, but that could be due to my distance from Fairbanks International, or my slightly lower elevation by the river. But it looks like we started off the week pretty low, around 9.94 millibars at the beginning of the week, and we ended the week around 10-12 millibars. So as the week progressed, we went from a low pressure to a high pressure system, we went from a low pressure system to a high pressure system, which reflects pretty accurately what the weather was that I experienced. We went from a fair amount of precipitation, several inches of snow on the 22nd and 23rd, to clear skies and very cold temperatures on the 24th and the 25th, which is exactly what you should expect from when you transition from a low pressure to a high pressure system. So our first day here, I noted on the 22nd that we had overcast skies and light snow. As you can see on our map, we have a light blue splotch right over Fairbanks, and that would be our light snow. It looks like we have a high pressure front over pretty much the entirety of Russia, and it's coming our way. That would account for the drop, or the raise in altimeter and pressure, and the decrease in temperature that we experienced shortly after this precipitation we had. And continuing on Friday the 23rd, I noted earlier that we had medium intensity snow, and you can see on our map here that the light blue splotch of snow is a little bigger and there's some snowflakes on it. I guess that indicates intensity. I'm not exactly sure, but we did have more intensity, at a higher intensity than the previous day. We had about a medium intensity, as I stated earlier. And as we can see on this map, the high pressure system is closing in, like it even increased a little on the barometer. And looking at this map, I'm getting to understand and realize how they can predict weather so accurately. If you were to look at this on the Thursday and the Friday, you would see that the temperatures were obviously going to drop in the coming days, as they did, and the snow was going to go away. So Saturday, the 24th, it's evident the high pressure system is here. The large contour bands are established over the Fairbanks area, and our snow that we had is moved on. It is now west of Fairbanks into Canada. And you can see I had a millibar, or my barometric pressure was 1,005 on this day, and you follow the contour bands of 1,000. You can see the number over here, and you follow that contour band. It's approximately over where we are in Fairbanks, so I guess my barometric pressure was pretty accurate for that day. And it's interesting to see the barometric pressure that is coming right at us, which is the indicator of cold temperatures to come with that high pressure system. My final day of observation, Sunday, January 25th, the high pressure system is even more established. The center is almost over Fairbanks. I had a millibar pressure of 1,012. It's pretty accurate. You can see the contour bands over Fairbanks is about that temperature. We had you can see on this map, I described a very thin cloud cover, about a quarter, and no precipitation. Precipitation has moved on, and I can see a full solar disk, very blue sky with some thin alto cirrus clouds. About a quarter of the sky was obscured.